fall up under that UPK banner. It's my brother and my blood, and I will die and kill for him if necessary. Go to ground, 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 go to ground. It's all about that warfare, boy. Give ground, give ground, give ground, back up, give ground, give ground, give ground, back up, give ground, give ground. It's all about that warfare, boy. Take ground, 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 take ground. My soldiers take ground till them stand down. Take ground, take ground, take ground, take ground, take ground, take ground, take ground. My soldiers take ground till them
Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Barakatah to all the brothers. Shalom, Yahweh Shemal Atah Shem Yahweh Shah to all the sisters. We're the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, coming out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General YAHANNA. What we teach is that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the lost 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, according to the Bible, according to history, and according to archaeology. You understand? And Salaki, you gonna read? You gonna read? For what? All right. So that being said, being that we are the children of Israel, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians make up the 12 tribes of Israel, then there's a responsibility that every black, Hispanic, and Native Indian have to the Most High, because we are His chosen people. We were the ones that were given the entire culture of the Bible. You understand? The entire culture of the Bible, all of our wisdom as a people comes from the Most High. You understand? I know me and one of the brothers was talking about King Solomon the other day. Me and Officer Natazar was talking about King Solomon, how he had knowledge of the beginning of times, the midst of times, and the end of times. You understand? And he didn't get that knowledge from like Nostradamus, how they say Nostradamus used to get high and look at a flame and pass out and have all these crazy visions. Right. And try to predict the future, and none of his predictions ever made sense to nobody. You understand? But King Solomon, on the other hand, King Solomon, his wisdom came from the Most High. You understand? In fact, all wisdom comes from the Most High. You understand? And with that being said, if I could, Baba Kashah, we're going to go ahead and give it a start. I want to start with Deuteronomy 7:6. Baba Kashah. I'm going to start with Deuteronomy 7:6, because blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, the first thing we need to understand, the first thing we need to wake up to is the truth that we are not Negroes. We are not niggers. We are not Mexicans. We are not Puerto Ricans. We're not Cherokee, Comanche. Those are not our true nationalities. You understand? Our true heritage goes back to the Bible. All of our history and all of our culture, all of our customs come from the Bible. You understand? We've been so far removed from that culture and from that history and from that truth because of what has happened to us during colonialism and during the Spanish Inquisition and during the transatlantic slave trade. You understand? All of those things contributed to us losing our culture, losing our customs. You understand? And fast forward to 2019, here we are, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians in America, and we are at the bottom of society. You understand? We are at the bottom of society. And the thing is, what I point I often like to bring out is that, because Christians in the world, even we can relate to it. When we were Christians in the world, we would be here in America as black people in America, and we think to ourselves, you know what? When I gotta take a dump, I can go sit on the toilet in the bathroom with toilet paper, wash my hands, brush my teeth, wake up in the morning, cook breakfast in a nice clean kitchen. House got air conditioning. I might not live in a mansion, but we stayed humble as Christians, thinking in our head, well, there's Africans over in Africa that ain't got a bowl of rice to eat. You understand? And we constantly, as a people, relate ourselves to Africans, and we become content with our lifestyles and become happy with the gifts that our slave masters gave us. You understand? Meanwhile, that African that you see on TV that's starving, guess what? That African has his own land. Wow. You understand? And guess what? Even in America, even in our oppression, if you have an apartment, you can't build something in your apartment. You can't build a factory in your apartment. Right. You understand? You can't operate certain businesses out of an apartment. You understand? But when you own your own land, you can build a farm on that land. You can build a business, a whole shopping center on your land. That's what people do. You understand? Because when you own your own land, you can build your own wealth. You can build your own sustainability. But black people being in America, even Hispanics, it seems like Hispanics have their own land. You know, it seems like Mexico has their own country. If that was the case, why are the Hispanics trying to come to America? You understand? If they have their own land, if they have their own power to do what they please with their own property, you understand? So here in America, these gifts that we given by our slaveries, we have to go and work this slavery, make someone else rich just to be able to pay our rent for the month. You understand? And then most of us get our checks garnished because of child support for a child that we can't even see because we got a crazy baby mama or whatever the case may be. You understand? So here in America, even though it appears that we live a better lifestyle than people in other countries, we have to understand that those people in those other countries, they don't have to worry about another nation oppressing them. You understand? An African over in Africa, he can if he can starve all he want to in that little hut that he live in, he don't have to worry about an oppressor murdering him in the street. You understand? At 12 years old for playing in the park with a plastic gun. He don't have to worry about that. Right. You understand? He gets to grow up and live his full life. You know what I mean? Taking piss showers and eating cow pies. You understand? Anybody ever been on a farm, you know what I mean when I say a cow pie. You understand? So here's the deal. They have their own land, meaning they have their inheritance. They have their own culture set apart from the rest of the world. Meanwhile, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we are forced to join the world and give up on any hopes or dreams of even having our own heritage. Right. You understand? That's why, ever since in light of those Jewish killings, those Jewish terrorist acts, you understand, where people are rising up and attacking the so-called Jewish man, you understand? Now, what they're starting to say is any reference to a black man being a Jew they're trying to make it be considered hate speech. You understand? They're trying to make it because they're trying to turn it into hate speech. So they're trying to turn it into hate speech just for a black man to be able to find out what his true nationality is. You understand? To find out what his true culture is. You understand? For a black man, it's illegal in this world for you to be awoke, to be awakened to your true nationality. Because the world wants you a slave. That African that's over there starving in Africa, guess what? You go to Africa. You understand? Like we see videos of people going to Africa. Right. You see all these commercials on TV of these malnutritioned Ethiopians. Meanwhile, Ethiopian, they got their own land. You understand? They got their own emperor. You understand? They don't have another nation ruling over them. You understand? Chinese man. They don't have another nation ruling over them. But meanwhile, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we are subject to every nation on the earth, which makes us at the bottom of society. Right. You understand? We are at the bottom of this society. Christianity teaches you to accept being at the bottom of this society, to beg for it, to ask for it, to be thankful for being at the bottom of society. Meanwhile, the Bible tells us otherwise. The Bible says something different. You understand? Read that when you got it up.
Come on, sir. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art an holy people.
Read it again.
For thou art a holy people.
Read it again.
For thou art an holy people.
When he says for thou, he is talking about you. blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. The Most High says, for thou art a holy people. Black man, you are a holy people. Hispanic man, you are a holy people. Native Indian man, you are a holy people. You understand? According to this Bible, you are a holy people. The word holy means separate. We are a separate people from these other nations. You understand? I'll give you an example of how you can know for a fact that we are separate from every other nation. We are different from every nation on this earth. Right. The Bible calls us a peculiar people. Right. You understand? And I'll give you an example, right? You know, one of the things that Christopher Columbus said about the Native Indians, about what Christopher Columbus said about the Gadites and the Ephraimites, he said that these people were the most peaceable people on the earth. Right. You understand? He even said so much that these people are so kind that they would give you everything they have for nothing in return. Right. You understand? That is a peculiar people because we live in a world that will take everything you have and give you nothing. Right. You understand? Meanwhile, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, the spirit that we've always had has been the spirit of giving. Right. We've always had that spirit. In fact, us being selfish, that's not something that you even see black children, Hispanic children, Native Indian children. Even at very young ages, you see that they will give everything in their room away to a friend that they care about. Right. You understand? Meanwhile, our precious children, they killing cats and burying them in the backyard. Right. You understand? Because our children are peculiar children. Because they are kind by nature. You understand? And because of that, the Lord severed us from these other nations. He separated us from these other nations. Read on.
For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
Unto who?
The Lord thy God.
The Lord said we are a holy people unto him. You understand? We are his portion. Imagine you come home and your wife, you walk in the door and you see that your rib done cooked up the most beautiful batch of chicken that you have never seen. You understand? And she has picked the most beautiful pieces out of the beautiful chicken and set that aside just for you. You understand? That chicken, that's the best of the best that was set aside for you. Right. You understand? That's what the Lord did with blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. He looked down on the world and all the people on the earth, and he said, this people is my inheritance. The rest of y'all, you understand? The Bible tell you, you know what I mean, that the rest of the nations are like spittle unto the Most High. Right. You understand? Spittle meaning when you're talking to somebody and a little bit of spit fly out your mouth, you don't try to catch it and put it back in your mouth, but like that's good nutrition I'm wasting right there. You don't do that. Right. You don't even pay attention to it. Half the time you don't even realize it came out your mouth. Right. You understand? But the Lord said, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, you are holy unto him. You understand? You are his inheritance on this earth. You understand? Read on.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people.
To be a what?
A special people.
No, regular people.
A special people.
Not the same as everybody else.
A special people.
You understand? The Lord chose us to be a special people. Black man, you are a special people. Hispanic man, Native Indian man, you are a special people. You understand? Even though we are being oppressed, even though we are being forced into drug addiction, right. Even though we are forced into alcoholism, even though we are forced into child molestation and being molested, you understand? And being raped, robbed, and murdered every time we wake up. You understand? Even though we go through those things, the Lord chose us to be a special people. You understand? There's something special about every black man.
Right.
There's something special about every Hispanic man. There's something special about every Native Indian brother. You understand? Because the Lord says so. The Most High. You understand? Read on.
To be a special people unto himself, above all people.
What did he say about that?
Above all people.
Nah, he couldn't have said that above. I thought God said all men were created equal.
Above all people.
I thought God loved everybody.
Above all people.
You understand? I thought we was all on a level playing field.
Above all people.
You understand? To think that all men are created equal is the lie told by liars.
Right.
You understand? Because the same man telling you that we are equal is the same man that was hanging us from trees. Is the same man that has the power to give you a life sentence in prison and give his people 10 years in prison for the same damn crime.
Right.
You understand? But we all created equal. You understand? There's no such thing as equality. There's no such thing as equality. A father is not equal to his son. A husband is not equal to his wife. And a black man is not equal to any other nation. According to the Bible, if you're a black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man, you are above every nation. You understand? Like Christopher Columbus said, he said that we were the most peaceable people on the planet. Just morally, at that point, even in our wickedness, we are above every other nation. You understand? We are better than every other nation on the earth. You understand? I mean, you might want to think that we all equal, but I tell you what, you understand? Becky don't cook as good as Keisha on any day.
Right.
You understand? Ling Ling don't cook as good as Shaquanda any day. You understand? And guess what? Jeremy Lin cannot ball harder than Allen Iverson.
Right.
On any day.
Right.
You understand? So we are not equal. We have countless even black people don't even believe that we equal. You understand? Even they don't believe it. You understand? If they believed that we were equal, then why is it that a black woman would feel some type of way about a black man dating a white woman? Even though that is unlawful according to the Bible. If we all equal, then what's the problem? Why you feel some type of way? You understand? If we all equal, the truth is that we just need to accept the truth. Black people need to accept the truth and wake up and realize that it's a fact that we are the greatest people on the face of this earth.
Right.
You understand? Everything, America would not be anything that it is today had it not been for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians making it so. The White House would not stand today had it not been for slaves. You understand? The Pilgrims would have died in the woods of all types of diseases and starvation had it not been for the North American Indian.
Right.
You understand? And guess what? America would not run today would it not be for the Hispanics. It would not. You understand? There's a article. It wasn't an article. It was like a short little news series about a small town. I believe it was in Kansas, or it might have been Texas. So lucky on the details. But the whole article was the whole town voted for Trump. Well, all the ones who was legally here, and you know what I mean, all the so-called oppressors, you know what I mean, or the oppressors, they all voted for Trump. And then when Trump's immigration bill started kicking up and Hispanics started getting deported left and right, they had to realize, well, 90% of our town is immigrants. And every farm that's in this town is worked by immigrants. And now the immigrants is too afraid to even come to work. Right. And you know what they said? They said they tried to hire white people. They tried to hire him, but they'll show up, work one day, milk 2 cows, and be like, you know what, I quit. I need to go get me a desk job at a gas station somewhere. This farm life ain't for me. You understand? They was quitting, dropping like flies because they couldn't do it. They just refused to do it. They couldn't do it. The work was too hard. You understand? But yet Hispanics would come in and they seizing that opportunity, and these people realize in this town that if not for the Hispanics, they would lose. That entire town would go bankrupt. You understand? And guess what? Would it not be for Hispanics, not just that town would go bankrupt, the entire country would go bankrupt. You understand? Because they paying our brothers pennies on the dollar. You understand? And they working jobs that they themselves would never do.
Right.
You understand? And do a better job at them, at anybody. You understand? You get a roof put on your house, yeah, you go pay our oppressor, but he gonna send our brother to come build it. You understand? You pay the oppressor, he the one getting rich. Meanwhile, our brother, he just a slave. You understand? And then we got the nerve to agree with him and say they coming over here taking our damn jobs. You understand? But the Lord says that Hispanic man that's working for that $2 a day on them farms, picking strawberries. You understand? Them Hispanic brothers and sisters that's working. What's that hot sauce? What's it called? Called sriracha. The sriracha. I call it sriracha. I don't know what the correct pronunciation is, but that sriracha sauce, right? In the factory where they make that sauce, like, I don't know if you ever been pepper sprayed. You ever been pepper sprayed before? No. You ever been pepper sprayed? So pepper spray is made from peppers. That's why they call it pepper spray. So if you was to take like cayenne pepper, chili pepper, habanero pepper, and put it in an aerosol can, that is a weapon. You understand? That is pepper spray. You understand? So these brothers and sisters was getting lung infections because they was working in these factories, working sometimes 16-hour days, getting pennies on the dollar, making this sriracha sauce, and was getting these crazy lung infections from working in these factories. You understand? But yet, people want to say they coming over here stealing our jobs. How many people applied for that job? Would you apply for that job? You know what I mean? I wouldn't apply for that job.
Right.
You understand? But you know what? Our brothers and sisters, our Hispanic brothers and sisters are so oppressed that they have no choice. They taking whatever on the table.
Right.
You understand? And it's a shameful thing for a black man to look down on a Hispanic man. That's a shameful thing. You understand? Because that is your brother, man. You understand? That's your brother. Just like the Native Indians on the reservation. It's a shameful thing for us to look at brothers and sisters on the reservation, and vice versa. It's a shameful thing for brothers and sisters on the reservation to look down on black people, to look down on Hispanics, and vice versa. All of that comes from the division that was placed in us by following after our oppressor. You understand? And guess what? Last night, what was last night? Go ahead,
New Year's Eve, sir.
New Year's Eve celebration. You know, it was probably 1 million rapes probably happened. You date rape, the Bill Cosby. I wonder how many people got Bill Cosby last night.
Right.
That's the new term for it. They say you get Bill Cosby. You understand? How many people got Bill Cosby? How many people caught mono last night?
Right.
You understand? Ain't it like a thing they kiss at midnight or something like that? They just kiss a random person? I don't know. I've seen some crazy things around this world. It's a lot. You understand? But, you know, I mean, it's you know, that whole spirit of New Year's. First of all, who said that this was the New Year's? This was the beginning of the year.
Right.
Who is it even that even said that? Who declared that? You understand? Who declared that? Who decided that January the 1st was the first day of the year? Anybody know? Anybody online want to take a guess? I'm sure if you've been paying attention to our classes, you should know the answer. Anybody know who, not who specifically, you don't have to tell me the person's name, you understand, but in general, who is responsible for January the 1st being declared the first day of the year? Or I might be wrong. Maybe I'm about to learn something new. If it's in the Bible, just show me the scripture. Teach me something new. You understand? Who was it that determined that January the 1st was the first day of the year? We got any responses back? Marduk, you want to take a crack at it?
Will it be Julius Caesar?
Julius Caesar. Okay. Julius Caesar. He was also responsible for what we call the Julian calendar. You understand? And that's where we get January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, November, December. So that's where the calendar came from as well. You understand? He was the emperor, or what you call it, the Caesar of Rome. Rome has Caesars, right? Yeah, the Caesar. Yeah, the Caesar of Rome. They had the power to determine those things. They determined it, and that became so. And if you look at if you know our oppressors' history, they've always been like that. You understand? They just make things up and make it law. You understand? Like they just decide, oh, this is this, and they say that it's law and everybody follows it. You understand? But here's the thing I don't understand. If this is the new year, when everything dies in the winter, am I right or am I wrong? Are there flowers that bloom in the winter? There may be, but I've never seen one. Even around here, the grass stopped growing in the wintertime. You understand? So if this day is supposed to be something new, supposed to represent something new, then what is new? Besides the number that pops up on your phone after the day's date. You understand? What is new? Do we walk outside and see new plants growing? You understand? What is it about January the 1st that makes that symbolic of something new? You understand? There isn't anything. Because January 1st is right smack dab in the middle of the wintertime.
Right.
You understand? Right smack dab. Nobody is harvesting any type of crops on January the 1st. Nobody's planting crops on January the 1st. You understand? Most of the time you wake up in the morning, the ground is frozen. You understand? And in Chicago, forget about it. Chicago is one place I would never, ever go in December and January. So right. I would have to be given the order to go to Chicago in the wintertime. So I don't think I have the coat or the clothing to qualify me to be able to walk outside in that weather. Right. You understand? But You understand? He is always, our oppressor has always done those things. You understand? He's always done things like that. Like even so much as to the land America. You understand? The land America, this land was not called America before the oppressor showed up. It wasn't called America before Caucasians showed up. You understand? It was called by different names, but it was not called America. You understand?
Right.
The Native Indians called it the Great Turtle Island. That's what they called it. You understand? And guess what? I take their word for it before I take the Caucasian word for it, because guess what? The Native Indian man, he the one that technically discovered it. You understand? He discovered it. He moved in and he was living there for almost 2,000 years before the Caucasian man showed up talking about he discovered it. How you discover something somebody already live at? You understand? I tell you how. The same way you declare something that someone already declared.
Right.
And guess what? Our oppressor declared that today was the new year. You understand? And you understand? And in declaring that that new year, he created this whole celebration and this custom of bringing in the new year, New Year's resolutions and all these other things. You understand? But before the Caucasian man did that in Rome, it was not so. That was not the new year. As a matter of fact, the Lord establishes the new year. And guess what? Black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, he told us, he gave that wisdom to us to know when the new year began. You understand? And as a matter of fact, if I could, Baba Kashah, I'd like you to go to Exodus chapter 12 and verse 1, Baba Kashah. You understand? The Most High told us when the new year was. You understand? And guess what? Newsflash, ding, 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 ding. It was not January the 1st.
Right.
You understand? January the 1st was created by our oppressor. You understand? The same way Thanksgiving was created by our oppressor. The same way the 4th of July was created by our oppressor.
Right.
You understand? And to be honest with you, I mean, calling today January the 1st, if you know anything about the calendar, it's really just bad mathematics. Because how many days in a year? Go ahead, Op.
365.
Are you sure about that?
According to Julius.
Look it up. Look up the exact number of how many days is in a year. According to our oppressor. You understand? Just Google like how many days in a year. Go ahead.
Say 365 days.
Okay, hold on. All right, so you know every 4 years they have what's called a leap year. You know what I mean? Because really, it's not 365 days. Let me see. It's 365.24 days. I think it's what the exact. Let me see.
Yeah, that is right, sir.
It's 365.24.
Yeah, 365.2422.
Right. Right. 365 point what?
0.2422.
0.2422. That's how many. Now, how is that accurate? How can we go by that? You understand? Like, how many days in the goddamn year, man? You understand? If I ask you how many apples you got, you be like, oh, I got 365.2422. I'm like, all right, how many apples you got? You know what I mean? Like fuck all that 2422. You know what I mean? How many apples you got? So like, you understand? So that's the best that our oppressor could come up with.
Right.
You understand? That is the best he can come up with. And that's his mark. That's what he says. And then we got a 12-hour calendar, right? So it's be 24 hours in a day, right? So if it's 24 hours in a day, it's 365 days a year. It's 365.2422 days. You understand? Then how is today even January the 1st according to his calendar? You understand? His math is wrong, which is why we have a leap year every 4 years. Like that just sounds like duct tape on a water hose.
Right.
You understand? Oh, well, don't worry about it. We just add another day in February. You understand? But meanwhile, we ignore what the Lord said. You understand? When what the Lord laid down was perfect. You understand? The Lord already laid it down. Who is our oppressor? This is how retarded our oppressor is. You understand? He first of all, he has no idea the ramifications of even landing on the moon. You understand? How does he know what the repercussions of? For all I know, he could have tilted the axis just a small little smidgen. You understand? And threw the moon into a 100-year whirlwind that's going to eventually smack into New York City or something.
Right.
You understand? Who's to say? Who's to know? Because that's the best math he can come up with as far as the whole year is concerned. You understand?
Right.
So why are we going? Why are we? And then we as black people. Okay. I say this all the time. Black people even know that we are smarter than our oppressor, that we have more intelligence, that we have more wisdom.
Right.
Because you see you see these videos, right? Like and y'all might know the answer to this question. You know, if you don't know, it's fine. But being in South Carolina, you hear it a lot. But how can I put this? Caucasians, right? Well, we're not gonna say them specifically, but let's say jumping out of a plane, going skydiving. Is that something black people do for fun? Go ahead. Swimming with stingrays. You know what I mean? Is that something? Didn't Steve Irwin wrestling crocodiles and got killed by a stingray?
Right. Come on.
You understand? That ain't nothing black people do.
Right.
You understand? What's some other things they do? Scuba diving with sharks. Mm-hmm. You understand? Surfing in general. You understand? Like, you know what I mean? What else? You know, just it's so many things. I just can't think of one.
Crazy stuff they do.
Yeah, the crazy stuff. Swimming with sharks. Play Russian roulette. Good one. That's a good one. You understand? Even when Malcolm X played it, the bullet wasn't even in the gun. He had the bullet in his mouth the whole time. You understand? But, you know, things like that, what do black people call it? Anybody know? You know, if you don't know, it's fine. They call it white people-ish.
Right.
You understand? They say, oh, that's white people-ish. You understand? Well, guess what? January the 1st being a new year, that's white people-ish.
Right.
You understand? Celebrating New Year's. Going out, drinking, popping champagne bottles, wearing mini skirts in the middle of the goddamn winter. That's white people-ish. You understand? Because black people, we know better. You understand? Salakia. We don't know better today about New Year's because for so long we took it because guess what? On that plantation, that was one of the days that we didn't have to get our back beat in. You understand? We got to sleep in late. We got to go have sex with our woman. We got to dance and sing and cook and eat and all the little pig giblets that our slave masters wanted to throw away that week. Pig giblets. You understand? So because of that, that's why we celebrate the whole New Year's celebration. You understand? Because here's the thing: the Chinese man, was he a slave in America? No, he wasn't no slave in America. And guess what? On Christmas Day, it could be 9 a.m. Christmas morning, and you hungry, and you ain't had nothing to eat. You know what I mean? Guess what? McDonald's closed, Burger King closed, Bojangles closed, Popeyes closed. I think Walmart even closed for a little bit. You know what I mean? All the restaurants closed except for what? Anybody know?
On what day?
On Christmas Day, New Year's Day. Go ahead. The Chinese man. He don't celebrate no Thanksgiving and Christmas. He don't know nothing about it. You understand? And guess what? He don't care to know. He was not a slave in America. And guess what? His door is open on Christmas Day. He like, God, damn that. I ain't missing no money just because of their holiday. Shoot, I need money today. You understand? Because they have their own culture. They have their own holidays. And guess what? Because they own their own businesses, they get to let their people off on their holidays. You understand? Sometimes you might pull up to the Chinese restaurant knowing it's going to be open and it's closed because they celebrating their holiday. You understand? Well, Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, we could do the same. You understand? We can open our businesses on New Year's Day, New Year's Eve, and Christmas Day. You understand? I was hearing stories about brothers and sisters, my goodness. Like it seemed like I thought I was the Grinch last year. But I was the Grinch this year. I was the Uber Grinch this year. You understand? People was calling me talking about they got loans out, spent bill money and the loan buying Christmas presents. You understand? Buying Christmas presents. You understand? That's the trickery in these holidays. You understand? Because these holidays, it's all about getting your money. You understand? And now, I know some states it's a little different, but in South Carolina, there's a devil who owns I believe it's called Zach's Fireworks. Might be called Zach's Fireworks. If you ever drive down 85 South, right before you get into Georgia, you'll see a huge, big old building on the side of the highway that says Zach. I think it's a big yellow building. You can't miss it. You know, it's a big steel yellow building, and it says Zach's Fireworks on the side of it. You know how you ride around and you see all them little fireworks? Y'all be seeing those little fireworks stands in Greenville? All of those fireworks stands is owned by this man. So every year on the 4th of July and on New Year's, he sends out them little fireworks stands and make millions of dollars every year. You understand? And guess what? I don't know how it is in Greenville, but in Anderson, you see lines of black folks buying them damn fireworks. You understand? And these people making millions of dollars a year off of sparkly dirt. You understand? Making millions of dollars a year for you to just go out there and light some stuff on fire and then go back inside and have to clean it up the next day. You understand? Go ahead.
And they only be open one time of the year. They just close the whole entire year.
The whole entire year. You understand? Now you can go to the place and buy fireworks year round. Like they got a store in Anderson. Like you can go in there on March the 2nd and buy whatever damn fireworks you want. But every year they put them stands out around 4th of July and around New Year's and make millions of dollars every year off of fireworks. You understand? Black people, that is a damn shame. Because you got brothers and sisters in the ghetto that cook the best food that you'll ever eat. Braid the best hair that you could ever see. You understand? Can sew, sing, dance, and all of that. You understand? But they in poverty on Section 8. You know what I mean? Living in drug-infested neighborhoods. You understand? Meanwhile, our oppressors is getting filthy rich off of our celebrating their holidays. You understand? Read on in that scripture. Go ahead and read that scripture. Exodus 12 and 1.
The book of Exodus, chapter 12, verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying,
You understand? So this is the Most High. This is the Most High. He's speaking. He says he's speaking to Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt. You understand? So this is when Moses, the Most High was laying things down to Moses. He laying down the law, statutes, and commandments, the entire culture of Israel. He's laying all of it down for Moses. You understand? To go and teach the children of Israel. You understand? Go ahead and read it when you got it.
You want me to read from verse 1 again? Sir?
Yeah, read from verse 1.
The book of Exodus, chapter 12, verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, verse 2, this month shall be unto you the beginning of months.
Read it again.
Verse 2, this month shall be unto you the beginning of months.
What does that mean, the beginning of months? The Most High says, this shall be the beginning of months. What does that mean? What is he saying? Go ahead, Doc.
The beginning of the year?
Correct. He's saying that this is going to be the beginning of the year. The months make up the year, and this month is the beginning of them. You understand? Now, we're going to read on and find out. This is straight out the Lord's mouth. I'm not telling you something I've read on the internet. We reading this out of, what book are we reading?
Exodus.
You understand? This is out of the book of Exodus. You understand? We about to show you what the Lord declared the first month of the year to be. Go ahead and read.
Verse 2, this month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you.
It shall be the what?
The first month of the year to you.
So this is the Lord telling us when the first month of the year is going to be. You understand? This is the Lord making this declaration. He the one that built the damn stars and the moon and the earth. He the one that made it.
Come.
So wouldn't it make sense that he the one to tell you when the days begin and when the days end? You understand? I mean, if I made a car, I should be the one, the authority to tell you how it worked, right? You understand? If I built the computer, I should be able to tell you, I should be the one to tell you how it worked, not somebody that didn't do nothing but use it. You understand? I'm the one that built the damn thing. So the Most High, he the one that made the entire universe. He the one that made the entire galaxy. The entire turning of the earth around the sun, he the one that made all of that. You understand? So he the one that should be the one to declare when the first month of the year is. Not the oppressor. That just goes to show you the arrogance of our oppressor.
Right.
You understand? The arrogance and the pompness of that devil, man. Sit up there and think he know better than the Most High. That's what's always been the problem of our oppressor. He's always felt like he knows better than the Most High. You understand? But here's the deal. Nobody knows better than the Most High. You understand? And guess what? A lot of people thought they knew better than the Most High when Noah was on the earth. And we seen what happened to them. You understand? The Lord ain't going to just sit there and let his work be defiled.
Right.
You understand? The Lord ain't about to do that. You understand? Our oppressor does have a day coming where he gonna have to answer for everything that he's done over the past 500 years. You understand? He gonna have to answer for that. The same way we had to answer for what we did. You understand? Black people had to answer for what we did. We had to answer for what we did, and that answer that we had to follow through with was the transatlantic slave trade. We had to go through that because of what our forefathers did. You understand? Native Indians had to lose their land because of what their forefathers did. You understand? Hispanics had to get oppressed the way they get oppressed because of what their forefathers did. You understand? So it's only right that our oppressor pays for what his forefathers did. It's only right. That's the nature of everything. You understand? Even Isaiah 14:21 says, prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquities of their fathers. You understand? So the Most High, he's the one that declares when the new year is. Not the Roman Emperor Julius Caesar. Not the Romans. You understand? Read on.
Come. Verse 3. Speak ye unto the congregation of Israel.
Unto who?
Speak ye unto all the congregation of Israel.
You understand? So the Lord told Moses to tell this to all of the children of Israel. You understand? This is a declaration that the Most High laid down.
Right.
You understand that this is the beginning of months. This is the beginning of the year. You understand? Not January the 1st. You know what I mean? So here's the deal, right? So, Salakia. Hold on 1 second. Salakia. Pull my Bible back up. Salakia. All right, so go ahead and read on.
Come. Saying, in the 10th day of this month, they shall take to them every man a lamb, according to the house of their fathers.
Go ahead.
A lamb for in house. Verse, you want me to keep reading, sir?
You can stop. You can stop there.
Come.
You understand? So here's the deal. You know, basically, I just wanted to bring that out to show you that the Lord makes a declaration of when the new year is. And the month that he's referring to is matter of fact, just go ahead and keep reading.
Come. Verse 4. And if the household be too little.
Salakia, go ahead and drop that. I want you to go to Exodus 13 and go to verse 3.
Come.
Salakia.
You want me to read it when I got it, sir?
Come.
The book of Exodus, chapter 13, verse 3. And Moses said unto the people, remember this day in which ye came out from Egypt, out of the house of bondage. For by strength of hand the Lord brought you out from this place.
Read that again.
Exodus chapter 13 and verse 3.
The part, yeah, go ahead and read that again.
Read from the top, sir?
Yeah, read it from the top.
Come, sir. Verse 3. And Moses said unto the people, remember this day in which ye came out from Egypt, out of the house of bondage. For by strength of hand the Lord brought you out from this place.
You understand? It says, for by strength of hand, the Lord brought us out of Egypt. You understand? He brought us out of the house of bondage with the strength of hand. What does that mean when it says by the strength of hand? For by strength of hand, what does that mean? Go ahead, Doc.
Would it be by guidance?
Okay. He did a little more than guide the children of Israel out. It was a little more than just advice that he did. Think about it. What does it mean? Think about the strength of hand. What does the hands represent? Go ahead.
Would this be talking about as far as by like not necessarily war, but by killing? Right.
You understand? The first word was a decent word for it. You know, through war. The Most High waged war against Egypt. You understand? We didn't lift up a finger and go to war with them.
Right.
But the Lord went to war with Egypt. You understand? And he went to war with Egypt by killing the firstborn of every living thing in Egypt. You understand? With the plagues that he brought on Egypt. You understand? The Lord showed his might when he delivered us out of Egypt. He showed them Egyptians things that they never seen in the history of Egypt. You understand? For them, that was the apocalypse.
Right.
You understand? Like you want to see a horrible day. You understand? Read about what the Most High did to Egypt. That was a horrible time for them Egyptians. That was like the Walking Dead movie. That was like imagine if a zombie apocalypse was to break out. It was the equivalent of that in that society. That whole economy collapsed because of what the Most High brought on the earth that day. You understand? Read on.
For by strength of hand the Lord brought you out from this place. There shall no leavened bread be eaten. Want me to keep reading, sir?
Yeah, read on.
Verse 4. This day came ye out in the month Abib.
What month?
Abib.
You understand? This is the first month of the year. This is the month that the Lord said, this is the beginning of months. You understand? This is the month that I brought you out of Egypt. You understand? And guess what? What's a high holy day that we celebrate during that month? Go ahead.
The Feast of Unleavened Bread?
Yeah. Yeah. But what's a bigger one? What's the big one that we celebrate in that month?
Oh, okay.
Go ahead. The Passover. You understand? The Passover. You understand? You want to celebrate something. Celebrate the Passover. You understand? This year we got the Westchester Arena to celebrate the Passover. You understand? You want to celebrate something, man, listen. I don't care how many, out of all the New Year's parties I'd have never been to when I was in the world, none of them compares to the Passover. None of them. Not one. Not a single one. Now, I never been to that whole Times Square New Year's thing. I'd be too terrified. That ain't my type of thing right there. You know, to be in a crowd full of all type of people, a crowd like that, you know, they say people get stabbed in Times Square on New Year's, killed, raped, murdered, all that. And don't nobody even see it. You know what I mean? And guess what? That's the spirit that comes out during this time of year. The spirit of murder. The spirit of killing your brother. That is the spirit that Satan brings on this earth during New Year's and during Christmas. You understand? Because think about it. Like, how many people, there was people getting shot in Anderson last night. People got shot in Greenville last night. Spartanburg, Atlanta, Chicago, Dallas. You understand? Hundreds of black people got killed last night by their own brothers. You understand? Because that is the spirit that is on celebrating New Year's. It's the spirit of murdering your brother or your sister. You understand? That's the spirit that's on this so-called holiday. But the Passover is all about the Lord delivering blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians out of oppression.
Right.
You understand? We are oppressed in America the same way we were oppressed in Egypt. You understand? And guess what? In that new year, that so-called, well, not so-called, but the new year that the Lord established, that new year, he went to war with them Egyptians over the children of Israel.
Right.
You understand? And guess what? The Lord is going to do the same in America. You understand? In fact, he says no longer, in that day, no longer shall I be known for delivering the children. I'm paraphrasing. But he says, no longer shall I be known for delivering them out of the hand of Egypt, but from delivering them out of the land of the north. He's talking about North America. You understand? The Lord is going to do something terrible in this nation when he delivers blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You understand? That day is very close. That day is close, Op. You understand? That day is very close. You understand? Prophecy is coming to pass every day. You understand? More and more. You understand? I.S.U.P.K been prophesying since 1969 about terrorism and in World War III. You understand? And guess what? World War III is knocking right at the front door.
Right.
Cause I'm gonna tell you something. You know, now of course UPK, we don't approve of no violence. We don't approve of no terrorism.
Right.
You understand? Because we believe in the UPK, we believe in the Bible.
Right.
Right.
And the Bible says that the weapons of our warfare are spiritual and not carnal. The weapons of our warfare is not picking up a gun and running into a Jewish mosque. The weapons of our warfare is simple. It's cheaper than bullets. It's not celebrating New Year's. That's the weapon that we have, that we fight with. The weapon that we fight with, not celebrating Christmas. Now, we get black people behind that, then we going to see some changes. You understand? We get black people behind that. You understand? We going to see some changes overnight. You understand? If all black people and Hispanic people, Native Indian people boycotted Christmas this year and boycotted New Year's, America would be bankrupt by midnight tonight. You understand? But we so caught up in those lies, you know, just, and the thing is, we don't even care to know if it's the truth or a lie. We just out fulfilling our lusts. You understand? Brothers went out last night. They ain't go out because they honoring the new year. They going out looking for some tail.
Right.
Some tail to hit and throw away. You understand? And you know what? Some of that tail got a man at home. You understand? And these sisters leaving a man at home, went out last night and cheated on their husband, went out with their girls and had girls' night. You understand? Come back smelling like nuts and cologne. You understand? Like balls and cologne. You understand? Because that's what New Year's celebration is all about, man. It don't have nothing to do with nothing. You understand? Matter of fact, give me that scripture. In Jeremiah.
Too much what you were talking about?
Yeah,
Jeremiah 16 and 15. Jeremiah 16 and 15.
Jeremiah
Go ahead
16
and
and
read it
15.
right quick.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Read.
Jeremiah chapter 16, verse 15. But the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
And from all the lands whither he had driven them. And I will bring them again into their land that I gave unto their fathers.
You understand? So this is what the Lord did for us in Egypt. You understand? And he's telling you that he's going to do it again. You understand? He's going to do it again in the land of the north. That land of the north that this scripture is talking about right here in North America. So all these holidays, New Year's, Christmas, Thanksgiving, guess what? When America fall, ain't going to be no Thanksgiving.
Right.
You understand? You celebrate Thanksgiving, you liable to get your head cut off.
Right.
You understand? You liable to get your head cut off, clean off, with one swoop. You understand? That is going to be a treasonous crime in the kingdom of the Lord. Celebrating January the 1st, celebrating man, listen. You better not let nobody catch you popping fireworks off on January the 1st in the kingdom. Man, it's gonna be, brother. It's gonna be priests outside your house so quick. You understand? Like shalom, brother. Could you step outside Baba shop? You know, the brothers need to have a word with you, Baba shop. You understand? And the Lord is going to do this thing again, what he did for us in Egypt. You understand? The Lord's going to do the same thing. You understand? And guess what? And he did that in Egypt. He did that in what he called the New Year, which was the month of Abib. You understand? Which is coming up soon. That's what it'll fall like in between March and April. You understand? That's when the beginning of the new year is. You understand? And guess what? It makes better sense than January the 1st. Because guess what? January the 1st, the only thing you see is ice and mud. You understand? Ice, snow, and mud, and dead trees and all that. That's all you find in January the 1st. But in March and April, around the time that the Lord said is the beginning of the new year, that's when you start hearing those birds get to chirping.
Right.
That's when the temperatures start getting a little warm. You understand? That's when the sun, what they call sundress season. You understand? Brothers know what I'm talking about. You understand? That's the season when all the flowers start to bloom, or when the flowers start to grow, the crops start to spring. You understand? That's the beginning of the new year because it's life anew. You understand? As a matter of fact, so like if I could, the month, the name Abib, the month of Abib in Hebrew, it means green ears of corn. You understand? That's what it means. You understand? Green ears of corn. That's new life brought into the earth. You don't see no green ears of corn in January the 1st.
Right.
You don't see nothing new growing out of the dirt in no January the 1st. There's nothing new about January. January is a time where you trying to survive. You trying to keep warm. That's what they call it, cuffing season.
Right.
You understand? That's when the cuddling happens. Because you trying to stay warm. You understand? But springtime, that's when the new year begins. That's when you have the new day. Think about it. Like the day, you know what I'm saying? Like how it's kind of like sunrise. You understand? We don't get our day started until the sun come up. You understand? When the sunrise begins, that's when, you know, even though the day technically begins at sundown, you understand? But our day is in our productive day begins at sunup. You understand? When that sun rises, we begin production. We get up and get moving, get to work. That's when, you know what I mean? That's the sun wake you up. If you sleep and you looking at the sun will wake you up. You understand? And that's when most people get up and go about their day. And it's warm and it's light and you can see. You understand? And at nighttime, that's when it's dangerous. That's when predators come out. You understand? That's when by predators I mean, you know, like the hunting animals, like the predatory animals and things like that. A lot of them hunt at night. You understand? And so during the wintertime, that's a dangerous time for people, especially, you know, now today, of course, we got heat, you know, central heat and air. You understand? We got triple fat goose coats. You know what I mean? We got these covers in the UPK. You understand? But back in the day, they didn't have all that. You understand? They had fire pits and fireplaces, and that's how they kept warm. And you better hope you had some firewood, because if you didn't have no firewood, you was dead in the wintertime. You understand? There was a lot of cowboys in the Wild Wild West that died in the wintertime because they slept outside, because it was a dangerous time. You understand? So there ain't nothing new about that. You understand? The new year, according to the Most High, begins in the spring. That's what the Lord considers to be the new year. You understand? That's when everything becomes new again. All the flowers grow new. All the old flowers die and the new flowers grow. All the old crops die and all the new crops grow. You understand? So now here's the thing. Now, you know, okay, people can say, you know, well, you know, is it wrong to celebrate New Year's? You understand? How is it wrong to celebrate New Year's? You know, it's just celebration. We just going out and drinking, and just going out and doing, you know, whatever. You understand? But here's the thing. The Christian church celebrate New Year's.
Right.
The Christian church celebrate New Year's, and guess what? They don't give a damn. In the Christian church, they don't give a damn about the Most High. You understand? They don't care nothing about the Lord. They had the New Year. You know, they have. It's been so long since I've been to a Christian church, what they call it, the New Year's service. You know what I mean? They have a New Year's service where they have they have like the service through the midnight. You know what I mean? Then when 12 o'clock midnight come, they just preaching and all that until whenever, and then they go home. Go ahead, out.
I was just gonna say, with that New Year, church service or whatnot, you have people that will actually go to the service, and then as soon as the service over, where they going?
To the club.
They going straight to the club. You know what I'm saying? Like, that just show you how horrible the Christian church is as far as dealing with the mindsets of the Most High chosen people. Like,
right.
It's just like, man, like, okay, I'm gonna go praise Jesus in one hand, and then you know what? I'm gonna praise what's like a rapper named 2 Chainz or somebody like that within the same man. So it's like, man, we just brainwashed as a people, and the Christian church is a big fault of that.
Right. Absolutely. You understand? Now here's the thing, right? So, a Christian would ask, how is it wrong to celebrate New Year's? We just bringing in the New Year. We just popping a little bubbly. You know what I mean? We just counting down the clock. How is that wrong?
Right.
You understand? Because they don't. The truth is, they really don't want to believe that it's wrong. They don't want to learn how it's wrong.
Right.
They just want to do it because why? That's where all the girls gonna be there tonight. You know what I'm saying? That's what all them little mini skirts. You know what I mean? All the meat went out last night.
Right.
And got tainted. You understand? Ain't gonna be rib finding season for at least 60 days. You understand? So here's the deal, right? What God is honored on January the 1st? Anybody know? If anybody in line wants to know, tell me who is the God what God is commemorated on January the 1st? Anybody know? Anybody want to take a smack at it? Go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's definitely not the God of Israel.
Yeah, absolutely not. You understand? It absolutely not. You understand? But does anybody know the name of the God? Go ahead, Marduk.
The God of Janus.
The God Janus. Absolutely correct. And meanwhile, give me Exodus. Salaki. Give me Exodus chapter 20. You understand? The God Janus, you understand, is who is worshipped or honored on January the 1st, the celebration of New Year's. That is what you do when you go out on December 31st, when you put your little freakum dress on with your high heels and call all your homegirls. Y'all catch an Uber to the club. You know what I'm saying? You and your boys, y'all link up. You know what I mean? You got your drip right. You know what I mean? Got your gold teeth in. You know what I mean? Got your fresh Gumby fade. You understand? And you ride out to the club and you drink and you party and you listen to the baby. You understand? Listen to all the music and dance and drink. And then that clock count down 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then Happy New Year, and then you kissing whoever in the vicinity.
Right.
All of that is the worship of the God Janus.
Right.
That is the ceremony to worship the God Janus. You understand?
Come.
So if you consider yourself a God-fearing human being that say you believe in God and you know, brothers that have a tattoo on their chest that say only God can judge me, and then go celebrate New Year's. Right. Only God can judge me, but you worship Janus. You understand? But you so-called believe in the God of the Bible. Give me Exodus. Start at Exodus chapter 20. Start at verse 1.
The book of Exodus chapter 20, verse 1. And God spake all these words, saying, verse 2, I am the Lord thy God.
He says what?
I am the Lord thy God.
He says, I am the Lord thy God. Black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, the God of this Bible is your God.
Right.
You understand? Read on.
Which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt.
And guess what? This is the God, this is the power that brought you out of Egypt. When you were slaves in Egypt. When you was oppressed in Egypt. When you was getting murdered in the street in Egypt. When you was addicted to drugs in Egypt.
Right.
When they was killing our babies in Egypt. The God of this Bible is our God. Read on.
Out of the house of bondage.
Out of the house of what?
Bondage.
Out of the house of bondage. The Lord delivered us out of slavery in Egypt. You understand? And guess what? It was brothers and sisters that got delivered out of that hell and wanted to go back. Was damn near about to fight Moses to go back. You understand?
Right.
Just like how when the Lord deliver us out of America, it's going to be brothers and sisters that's going to be ready to fight us to go back.
Right.
You understand? Go ahead.
I was laughing because that shit funny, man. Like,
You understand? It is funny.
Fight us. They was murmuring about Moses.
Yeah, they was talking, man.
On his back.
Moses got us out here in the sticks. Man, Moses got us jacked up. Man, got us out here looking stupid.
Right.
You understand? They tried to rise up against Moses, man. What does that scripture say about Egypt? Says, go ahead.
Which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt.
Out of the land of Egypt, read on.
Out of the house of bondage.
This was not no goddamn resort, man.
Right.
This wasn't no vacation spot. You understand? This wasn't no vacation for us. We were slaves in Egypt.
Right.
We used to work our fingers to the bone for a loaf of goddamn bread in Egypt. You understand? And it was people begging us to go back. They was ready to fight us to go back. You understand? Just like how Harriet Tubman, that's why it's so heavy. What Harriet Tubman said. She said, I freed 1,000 slaves. And I could have freed 1,000 more if only they knew they were slaves.
Right.
And guess what? You talk to some brothers and sisters in 2019, and you tell them that we slaves, they'll be ready to fight you over that comment. We ain't no slaves, we free.
Right.
We been free for 100 years. Go ahead.
I have precept.
Go ahead, please, Bible Shop.
Micah chapter 2, verse 10. Arise ye and depart.
Do what?
Arise ye and depart.
You understand? The Lord want us to rise and depart. You understand? He don't want us to rise up and take up guns and firearms and burn America down. That ain't what the Lord want us to do. He want us to depart, meaning he want us to separate from Babylon. He want us to stop celebrating these customs. He want us to stop following after our oppressor. You understand? Read on.
For this is not your rest.
For this is not our rest. Like I said, Egypt was not a vacation for the children of Israel.
Right.
America has not been a vacation for us, man. We've been murdered consistently for 500 years in America. You understand? This is not our vacation spot, man. This is not the place where we supposed to get comfortable.
Right.
We not supposed to be out here willy-nilly on New Year's Eve, half naked, getting Bill Cosby.
Right.
Read on.
Because it is polluted.
It is what?
It is polluted.
This land is polluted, man. These customs are polluted. Celebrating New Year's Eve is polluted, man.
Right.
Because celebrating New Year's, you worshiping another God, man.
Right.
When the Lord said, He is your God.
Right.
He is the one who brought you out of Egypt,
Right.
out of the house of bondage.
Right.
Read on.
It shall destroy you.
And what does America do consistently to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians for 500 years?
Right.
It destroys us, man. You can't tell me Trayvon Martin was not destroyed in America.
Right.
You can't tell me Michael Brown was not destroyed in America. You can't tell me Walter Scott was not destroyed in America.
Whitney Houston.
Who? Whitney Houston. Oh my God. They put the picture of her deathbed. It's like not deathbed. She died in the tub, but they put a picture of her bathroom all over the media, man.
Right.
They not only was she destroyed by America, but even her death was disrespected by America. Man.
Right.
Read on.
Even with a sword destruction.
Even with a sword destruction, man. And America has been a sword destruction on blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You understand? Ain't nobody ever done to America what America has done to us.
Right.
Nobody has done to the Chinese man what America has done to us. Nobody has done to the Arab man what America has done to us. You understand? And I got one question, man. What other nation of people speak up about it?
Right.
What other nation of people done something about it? None. Because no other group of people did anything about it when we were slaves in Egypt. The only thing that delivered us out of slavery in Egypt was the Most High, man.
Right.
And he deserved more respect from his children than to go out on New Year's Eve and worship another God, man.
Right.
You understand anything else on that, Dawada?
Nah.
Read on, Mardaki.
COMCAST, sir. Verse 3. Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
They shall do what?
Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
So when you celebrate New Year's, you worshiping another God named Janus. You are not worshiping the God of the Bible. Go ahead.
The sister online said, let's not forget Emmett Till.
Emmett Till, my goodness. Give that sister a hand. You understand? Damn right. You understand? Emmett Till was destroyed by America, man.
Right.
You understand? Emmett Till, man. And then 80 years, what was it? How many years later? 50 years? 50 goddamn years later. That Salakia. Salakia. You understand? Read my mind. You understand? That female dog.
Phoenician by
That's Phoenician by nature. You understand? Came out 50 years later
right,
and confessed that that brother Emmett Till didn't do nothing. Didn't even whistle. Even though it's not a crime, he didn't even do what he was punished for. Go ahead,
And if I could, I mean, like, that just shows you how our oppressor is truly the devil that the Bible speaks of.
Right.
Because not only did she speak up, think about all the white women that did not speak up.
Come on, man.
And that caused death to many of slaves.
Come on,
You
now.
know what I'm saying? So that just shows you that our oppressor is truly the devil that the Bible speaks of.
Man, and that white woman is I don't know who's worse. The man or the woman.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah, it's
Because
true.
the man, yeah, he cracked our head, but that woman she used to go down in them slave huts. Because see, the white woman used to see her husband go down there and get busy down there with them slaves and have them little mixed babies. You understand? Like Harold, that young slave down there looking quite like you. Oh, girl, shut your goddamn mouth and take your hands up there. You understand? She used to see her husband go down there and sleep with that black woman. And that white woman used to lust after that black man. And you know what? The black man on the plantations Boy, he was terrified of that white woman. He was terrified of even looking at her.
Right.
You understand? Can you imagine being a slave in America? And you know that if you ever put your hands on your slave master's daughter, he would hang you, your family, and your kids. You understand? And she come knocking on your door in the middle of the night.
Right.
You understand? Trying to give you that old crawfish. Trying to give you that crawfish. You understand? And you already like, oh man, I'm already a dead man. Oh man, no, Becky, you go on out of here now. You go on back to your, you go on now. You understand? And you know what? She would feel some type of way because she know her husband down there getting busy.
Right.
And she wants something. She wants some get back. She want to feel like she's something. So she thinks she's something, and she go down there to the black man, and he turn her down. He like, oh no, I got that jungle booty over there. I don't want nothing to do with you, Miss Becky. You have a nice day now, ma'am. You make sure you get home safe. And guess what she do? She go and punch herself in the damn face, rip her shirt open,
Right.
and run screaming, talking about he raped me.
Yep.
And guess what? Countless black men were murdered for that reason right there alone. You understand? For lies.
Right.
Matter of fact, there's a brother, I can't think of the brother's name. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
Shit, the whole fucking Central Park 5.
The Central Park 5. Yep.
Central Park 5. Who else? Oh, you talking about Khalid Browder?
The football player?
Oh, nah. Khalid Browder, he went to jail. He lost his mind in jail. They had him unrightfully locked up for a crime he didn't commit. He lost his mind in jail. They said he had him in solitary confinement for like 6 months straight in solitary confinement, bro.
And if I could just add on to what Officer Dawada is saying, it made him so like his mind was so messed up. When he finally got freed out, he wasn't able to comprehend with the world, you know what I'm saying, that at that present time, to the point where he killed himself.
Right. Yeah, he wasn't able to adapt to society.
Right.
Man, that's the truth, bro.
Here we go.
I'm trying to think what football player you talking about.
One they really said.
Let's see. Mardaki, I'm gonna send you this link.
Council.
And send you this link real quick.
Who was it, Brian Banks?
Yep. Yep, that was him. Hold on, I think so. I think that was.
He was registered. He was accused of a sex assault.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
You got that article, Mardaki?
I was just looking at something else. If I could just bring it out.
Go ahead.
While we're doing that.
Go ahead.
It's saying today, January 1st of 2020, marks the first day in marijuana. The first day marijuana is legal in Illinois.
That means Chicago is about to be nuts. You understand? Chicago about to be nuts. You understand? Our oppressor is the devil, the Bible speak of, man.
Right.
Because how many brothers you think in Chicago or in Illinois in general is still sitting in prison doing football numbers for having weed on them? It's countless brothers, man. And now they gonna legalize it and get filthy rich off of it after they destroyed multiple generations of black and Hispanic people in Illinois.
Right.
You understand? Just like what they did in Chicago, man. Bill Clinton, when he passed the 3-strike law, and that 3-strike law you got brothers in California right now serving life sentences for weed charges. And now you can go buy weed in California like you go buy a goddamn cheeseburger.
Right.
You understand? You can go buy weed like you going to go buy a new tire for your damn car. You understand? But yet they did, like Jeezy said, first they give us the work, then they throw us in jail.
Right.
You understand?
He also said they get more time for selling dope than murder.
Get more time for selling dope than murder.
Right.
In this crazy world. You understand? In this world, you understand? And the reason for that is because we are the chosen people of the Most High, man.
I got an article.
Go, you got the same one?
Whenever you ready, this is a good one.
Okay, go ahead. Let's bring out whatever we got to bring out tonight.
All right, so first they get a breakdown. They say county conviction. So they're talking about Brian Banks. Said that he was convicted in Los Angeles, convicted of rape, sentenced to 6 years, and a lifetime registered sex offender. Years that he served was 5 years and 2 months. He was exonerated May 24th, 2012. And the cost of wrongful incarceration, they paid him basically, I guess, $406,000, and like 15, like I don't know, somewhere like close to $400,000 they paid him. Then the article says Brian Banks' years served 5. In 2002, 17-year-old Brian Banks was wrongfully convicted of rape. At the time of his conviction, Banks was, by all accounts, a rising football star destined to play in the NFL. Tragically, Banks would never realize his dream of going to college and playing professional football. A high school acquaintance, Juanita Gibson, shattered the dream one fateful day after she accused Banks of rape and kidnapping following a consensual sexual encounter on the school campus.
Mm-hmm.
It was Banks' word against hers, and she was not likely to change her story. After all, Gibson sued the Long Beach Unified School District, claiming the school's lax security provided an unsafe environment that led to the fraudulent rape. She would eventually receive a settlement of $1.5 million.
God damn. This devil not only sent this brother to jail, you understand? She sued the school district and got $1.2 million. That's an expensive hoe out. That is she got $1.2 million for being a thought. And guess what? A black man went to prison for it.
Right.
You understand? Now that wasn't the story. That wasn't the brother that I was talking about. But goddamn. You understand? The fact that we confused about which story to talk about should let you know that this place is not our rest, man.
Right.
That we live in a place that destroys black people, man. That brother that Dawada just brought out was destroyed in this country, man. Mardoc, you got that link yet?
Let me check. Did you send it to the messenger, sir?
I sent it in a text message. Oh, Salakia. You know what? I sent it to your old number. Salakia. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to send it to you in Facebook right now.
That's crazy though, man.
Now, did anything ever happen to that girl for
Oh, yeah, it's more. I can read.
Yeah, go ahead and read on.
Let me put it back up real quick.
You remember that one?
Okay, so you want me to continue?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So it says, nearly a decade after his conviction, Gibson recanted her statements and has acknowledged she fabricated the whole story.
This right here is why we call our oppressor the devil that the Bible speaks of.
Right.
This is why. When we say devil, the word devil means deceiver. You understand? So all you Christians in your goddamn feelings about us calling them devils, this is why.
Right.
You understand? And as a black man, you seen that movie Rosewood.
Right.
Why did they start killing black people in Rosewood? Because of some female devil that went around being a devil, talking about she got raped by a black man. And here we got another story. What year did this happen?
2002.
This was in 2002. A devil still being a goddamn devil lied and said she got raped by a black man.
Right.
You understand? And this brother did what, 5 years in prison for it? And then 10 years later, she come out saying she made up the whole thing. Anything else? Does it say what happened to her for lying?
Actually, it doesn't. Actually, I'm reading all the way down trying to find it. I don't see it.
Good night.
Talks about him getting exonerated. Later on, joining the NFL with the Atlanta Falcons.
Oh, Salaki, that's the one they made that movie about.
Yeah, he got a movie.
Right. Okay, go ahead, Salaki.
All right. It just says she recanted her statements. It says the California Innocence Project presented this evidence of Banks' innocence to the Los Angeles District Attorney's Office, who launched an investigation into the case. After a thorough review of the evidence, the District Attorney's Office conceded that Banks was wrongfully convicted. And then it says on Thursday, May 24, 2012, Judge Mark C. Kim of the Los Angeles Superior Court reversed Banks' conviction and ended his nightmare of wrongful conviction. There comes a time when you have to let go in order to move on. The only thing I wasn't going to let go was the fight, Banks said outside of the courthouse after his exoneration.
Good
and
night.
Then he goes on to his NFL debut, and you know what I mean, Banks on the big screen. He played in a couple movies, but it doesn't say nothing about what he received.
Because she more than likely received no punishment for telling that lie, man. You want to know why? Because the courts, the America don't give a damn about punishing her for lying.
Right.
Because all they care about is, well, you know, hey, at least we had another black man locked up for 5 years. You know, a black man was in jail for 5 years. That's good enough. You understand? He did that time for her. When really, she should get double the time. She should get 10 years in prison for that.
Con.
You understand? Now read this article, Locke.
Con, sir. This the AP News headline. Woman who made false rape claim gets 1 year in jail.
This devil right here, like when I seen this picture of this devil, like she just looked like one of them devils that she just got to be locked in a cage and forgotten about. You understand? We need you understand? In the kingdom, she just gonna have to be thrown in the cage and just forgotten about. I don't want to hear her talk. I don't want to hear her voice. I don't even want to see her. I just want her away from everything. In a deep, dark hole in a cage with food dropped down on from a rope. That's the kind of filthy devil this is, man. You understand? Read this article out.
Con. A woman who police say had sexual encounter with 2 college football players in Connecticut and later made false rape allegations so she wouldn't lose a potential boyfriend was sentenced Thursday to 1 year in jail.
This devil got 1 year in jail for ruining a brother's life, an innocent brother. You understand? Over what? A potential boyfriend? What kind of weird What kind of crazy nut job is this devil?
Come.
She had a brother arrested in prison just to get a potential boyfriend. You understand? Read on.
Come. Nikki Hovino, 20, of New York, was sentenced Thursday in Bridgeport Superior Court. She agreed to serve the jail time when she pleaded guilty in June, just before jury selections was to begin, to misdemeanor charges of falsely reporting an incident and interfering with police.
Go ahead.
Jovino was attending Sacred Heart University in Fairfield when she reported being raped by 2 school football players at an off-campus party in Bridgeport in October 2016. But police said she later admitted making up the allegations so she wouldn't ruin a relationship with another student.
Good night. She made false rape accusations. You know, when you get arrested for rape, not only are you now a felon, but you are also a registered sex offender. Which means you can't be around kids. You know what I mean? I think in certain scenarios, you can't even use the internet.
Right,
You understand? Meaning that if you need to apply for a job, it better be on paper. You understand? You can't even use the goddamn internet. Your life is destroyed. And the whole time, and it's that easy for a devil to tell a lie and have you that jammed up.
Right.
You understand? That's why the UPK goes so hard against black men laying down with these disgusting dogs, man.
Come.
These white women are dogs, man. They shed hair like dogs. They smell like dogs. They look like dogs. You understand? And guess what? They tell a lie that damn quick that'll have you in prison, filing paperwork, wearing a pink jumpsuit. I don't know if anybody ever been to jail, but some jails, and you a sex offender, you wear a pink jumpsuit.
Right.
You understand? You got the brother, the killers and the gangsters in the orange, and you standing right beside them in the pink. You understand? Read on.
Jovino's lawyers had said police pressured her into making a false confession. Attorney Ryan O'Neill previously said she told police the football players had sex with her against her will, but never used the terms rape or sexual assault.
Now here's the thing. Why would the police force a white woman to recant a statement on a black man? You understand? Last time I checked, black people is getting gunned down by the hundreds by police every year.
Come.
You understand? Last time I checked, police was giving black men trumped up charges.
Right.
You understand? Last time I checked. So what sense do it make for the police to push a white woman to recant a statement on a black man? Read on.
Come. The football players were never arrested, but both withdrew from the school while facing possible discipline. One of them also lost his football scholarship.
Lost his whole future. Read on.
According to the player's lawyer, Frank Riccio III. Both said they had consensual sex with Jovino. Both players remained unidentified until Thursday, when Malik St. Hiller came forward to speak at the sentencing and confront Jovino. The Connecticut Post reported Jovino rolled her eyes and smirked at St. Hiller. Talked about how the allegations affected his life.
This devil didn't give a damn about them lies. You understand? That's the cold part about these devils, man. You fall in love with these white women, they gonna tell a lie and won't give a damn how it affects you.
Right.
You understand? Tell a lie on you, you know what I mean? A devil, I was watching what's that show called? I think it's called Crime Watch Daily. Now it wasn't a black man that she was with. She was with a white man. But this devil slammed her her face against a door, went to the police department, and said that her boyfriend beat the hell out of her. You understand? And guess what? That is the spirit of a white woman.
Right.
You understand? That is the spirit of that woman that's laying in your bed right now. That white woman that's in your bed right now is a disgusting, filthy serpent that will smile and smirk in your face when you find out about the lies that she told on you.
Right.
You understand? He's sitting there telling her how to, you know what I mean? Like, okay, basically, whenever you see a trial going on, when the family is, when the victims is talking to the person who committed the crime, that's supposed to have an impact on sentencing. You understand? Meaning that if that person don't show no remorse, then they give that person the max. You understand? I done seen clips of courthouses where you got black people that get up on the stand, that's got the handcuffs and apologize for what they did. Say how sincerely sorry that they are for hurting that person, and how they could trade places with them if they could. And you know what they do? They sit up there and say this person didn't have no remorse, and they give them the max.
All the time.
But yet this devil is sitting here rolling her eyes and smirking at her victim. That man is a victim. He's standing in court as a victim confronting the person that committed the crime against him. And she's sitting there rolling her eyes and smirking and ended up with 1 year in prison. Right. 1 year in prison? You understand? If this was 100 years ago, that brother would have got hung from a goddamn tree. It wouldn't have been no trial. Wouldn't have been no confession. We'd have never heard about it. Only thing we'd have seen was the picture of him hanging on a postcard. You understand that? And here's the thing. That's how the white woman been for 500 years. Entire Native Indian tribes were wiped out because of a lying, filthy dog devil. Entire Native Indian tribes. Because one thing about a white man, he will galvanize behind a white woman. You understand? Oh, they did what? They did. They just look at her one time and she like, yeah, those niggers raped me. That's all it takes. Don't need to be no evidence. You understand? Due process in America is more frustrating to the white man when he has to, when he's trying to arrest a black man, because really what he want to do is kill a black man. Because in his mind, you deserve to die for what you do. You understand? I done seen so many videos of a black man convicted of killing a white man, and them white families will sit up there and tell him, I hope you die in jail. I hope you never. I seen one. What was it? One of the brothers that got locked up with TK. The mother of the victim stood up there. That white woman stood up there and said, I hope you don't go. I hope you don't get an education. I hope you don't get a degree. I hope you never get out of jail. I hope you die in jail. Right. You understand? Meanwhile, black people, we in the church, in the courthouse down in Charleston, trying to down in Texas, giving devils hugs. Right. On national TV. My docu, I about threw my whole goddamn phone through my TV out. Salaki. I about threw my, it ain't often that I get like that. You understand? But I'm sitting there taking pictures of it, and I seen the hug, and I about threw my phone through the TV out. You understand? I was almost phoneless and about to have to get checking because I ain't had no damn phone. You understand? That's what we doing. Meanwhile, these devils is rolling their eyes for ruining our lives and smirking. You understand? Because she feel like she shouldn't be punished for telling that lie.
Right.
She feel like the court's supposed to understand. Well, Judge, I was trying to get a boyfriend. And that's how I was gonna, I didn't want him to find out I was an old super thought. You understand? I wanted to make it seem like I was a victim. You understand? And here's the thing. That's something these devils do very often now. You understand? They make up lies and say that, especially when they been, a lot of these devils that be talking to brothers, when they break up with a brother, they go out here and they say, oh, he used to beat me up. He used to do this and do that. Run your name all through the dirt. Every white woman I ever talked to in my life that dated a black man used to say that black man used to beat her. You understand? And guess what? This devil said the same thing. And guess what? When it all came out and she's standing in court and she being confronted by her victim, she rolling her goddamn eyes, man. That's why that scripture that Dawodah brought out said that we supposed to separate from America, man.
Right.
We supposed to separate from these nations. We not supposed to be trying to join unto them, man. That's the white man's woman. Let him have that.
Right.
You understand? That thing that we reading about, let him have that. You understand? You got a princess in the ghetto, man.
Right.
You understand? Go get that princess out. You understand? Because listen, here's the thing. Every black woman I ever seen in a video with her boyfriend or her husband is getting harassed by the police. Guess what? That sister is 1,000% behind her man.
Right.
You understand? Meanwhile, these devils is rolling their eyes in court after they done destroyed your goddamn life.
Come on.
Go ahead, Op.
And if I could, these devils, they be so unattractive. They just be so unattractive. It's like unattractive pancake behinds.
Pancake.
No breasts. About 30, but they look about 70. Man, good night, man. They just so unattractive, and it just kind of, like I was bringing out as far as that Emmett Till. This just, it's the same scenario. You know
Same
what I'm saying?
scenario.
It's the same scenario, but it just fast forward to where we're living in today. So, that's how you know that we truly are still in captivity.
We are in captivity, Op. The conditions have not changed. You understand? But it's about to change. Because blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, the UPK is going hard, Op. And we waking up people all across this globe. You understand? And it starts with doing things like stop celebrating New Year's.
Right.
Like stopping celebrating Christmas and Thanksgiving. You understand? And with that, I'm going to pass the class over to Precinct Officer Mardaki.
I.S.U.P.K. security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K. Start out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from their head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from their head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers chapter 18 verses 21, Malachi chapter 3 verses 8 through 10. Means tenth in the Hebrew, ma'ashra. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocation will be Purim, the 14th day and the 15th day of the 12th month. This falls on Saturday, March 7th and Sunday, March 8th. 1 second here. That's not the updated one, Shalom. 1 second. I guess that is right, but you just don't have the correct year. Like so, Saturday, March 7th, and Sunday, March 8th. You can find this in Esther chapter 9, verses 20 through 31. Remind Akim and Akwa to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black boots, shirts, pen, handband, and scarf. With that, Shalom, Israel.